how's it going? And we are on New Year's resolution idea number 14, and that is to learn to say no. I myself have struggled with saying no. For the most part, people do not take advantage of you. But every now and then there's that one person that knows you have a hard time saying no. So therefore they come to you all the time, whether they subconsciously realize they're doing it or not. So that is why I chose to have this as one of the New Year's resolution ideas, in case there are any of y'all out there who struggle with saying no and who worry that saying no will hurt someone's feelings or ruin a friendship, or you carry the guilt. You know, these are all things that I still at times worry about when saying no. One thing you need to know is you need to know your boundaries. You need to know what is okay to do and what is not okay to do. You also have to remember that when you commit to something, you are taking time away from something else in your life. For instance, if I commit to babysitting someone, then I am taking away time that I would be doing for the dishes, the laundry, or whatever, which can be fine and you can make up for it later. That's absolutely fine. But if it's something that you are committing to, something that ends up taking away your precious time that you need for yourself, then it's time to say no. And it's time to learn that it's okay to say no, because you don't want to do anything at the cost of yourself. Hello, who are you? So keep that in mind, that when you're saying yes to something and you're committing something that's taking up your time, you are also saying no to something that you already have scheduled in your life. Even if it's like sitting around and watching TV, you're saying no to that because you're committing to something else. I am very guilty at this, but a lot of times I'll have people ask me something and I will say no, and then I will give like a million excuses as to why. Because I don't want to hurt their feelings, and because I want to show them that I really am busy, or even if I'm like not really busy and I don't want to do it, I still will give a million excuses. And I've realized that isn't appropriate, neither is it necessary to do that. So one thing you can say, if someone is saying, hey, can you do something, and you can't, for whatever reason, the best basic answer you can do is, I'm sorry, I can't fit that into my schedule right now. Or you can say, I don't think that'll work this time. Or you can say, I'm gonna have to pass this time. Now, if this is something that you want to do and you can't because you can't devote that much time, but you still want to help, you can say, okay, I can't do all that you're asking me, but I can do a little bit. Maybe I can take on this little part of the task. Now, if you have one of those friends, I got like sunlight going on over here. Let's scoot you over a little bit. Now, if you have one of those friends that like is super persistent or will make you feel guilty about saying no, do we all not have one of those friends, or at least have had one of those friends at one time or another? One thing you can do is, if you're feeling pressured and you feel like your no is not being heard, you can say something like, let me go look at my schedule and I'll get back to you. That way, too, you can look at your schedule, and if it's something that maybe you can do, you can say yes. And that way, too, if needed, you can just send them a text and just be like, sorry, I can't do it. That way, you're not, like, in front of the person saying no. When it's in person, it's so much harder to say no. And if they're still being overly persistent and not taking your no, just repeat the same answer, but firmly, and say, I'm sorry, it does not fit in with my schedule, or I'm going to have to pass this time. One thing too is to not be overly apologetic, because if you're really apologetic, it sounds like you really want to do it. So then you'll be more likely to be asked to do something similar in the future. And if you can do it in the future, then okay. I guess I'm just saying don't be too overly apologetic, because I am overly apologetic and I feel like and look like a total fool when I'm overly apologetic. So don't be like me and just sit and apologize over and over. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. You know what? One sorry is absolutely fine, I think, to give. And then that's it. Just leave it at that, lady. Come on, girlfriend. Get it straight. The great thing about learning to say no is showing that you have boundaries and you have priorities. And if something is clashing with your priorities that they are asking you to do, that you are choosing your priorities first. And also it helps you from overly committing to something that you essentially will not be able to give your 100% to, or something that you'll end up having to back out of. And that's another thing too. You would hate to say yes to something, and then as the time draws near to do it, you back out, because that's a greater disappointment to the person asking you than had you just said no in the first place. And that's it for now. Come follow me on my every time I say that, I like my mouth just. Bye, neighbor. Have a good day. And that's it for now. Come follow me on my blog, thetypewoman.blogspot.com. I'm also on Facebook and on Google+, and on Instagram and on Twitter, and I'll put all those links down below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to keep following me, please subscribe. And y'all have a good day. I'll catch you on the flip. Bye.